Namaste, friends. It's Darcy from Yoga Bliss, and I hope that you are having a beautiful day of life today. And thank you for joining me. I'm going to be creating 3 little short videos that go along with my article in the At Home magazine. And the first video that I'm creating for us all is meditation. Where's the best place to meditate, and how do we do it when we decide we're going to carve out that time? What do we do? What next? And so let's start with places to meditate. Anywhere. Anywhere can be a place of meditation. It does not have to be silent. You're going to find very few places in this world that are silent. So if you can know that going in, other than a flotation tank, which those are great places to meditate, but you're not maybe able to afford going to a flotation tank every single day, being able to have a space that you can know, that's where you're going to go. Right now, I'm in my office at home, but I have little meditation spots kind of all throughout the city, and in other states too. I've got little spots that I like to go, that these are my spaces where I can become still and go inside. So my advice for picking a space is something that you can sit down. There's space enough for you to sit down. It can be indoors or outdoors. And that you can close your eyes in. A space where you can just go inside. Those are the 2 things that you should look for. And the options are unlimited with those 2 little tips. So find a spot, and then once you get to that spot, you need to set up a time every day to come to it. Have a spot that's close nearby that you can come to every single day, and that you can set an alarm on your phone for 5 minutes and just practice 5 minutes every day. After you've done that for a few months, move it up to 7 minutes, to 10, 15. Slowly crawl your way up to 30 minutes a day. It's suggested to do 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. And if you really think about it, 1 hour carved out of 24 is not a lot of time. And that hour is going to actually give you time, because it's going to give you a clear perspective and help you react to the world around you in a more mindful manner. So for the seated posture of meditation, pick something that's comfortable for your legs, for your knees, for your hips. You can elevate your sit bones on a blanket or blocks. Just make sure that you're comfortable. And then we want to make sure that our shoulders are over our hips. We're either leaning forward or we're leaning back when we are just kind of moving through our day without awareness. And what we need to do is just be right in the middle. So think of your pelvis as a bowl of water. And if you're sitting back like this, your bowl of water is pouring, all the water is pouring out behind you. And if you're sitting like this, your bowl of water is going forward. We need the water to stay still. We need it to just be soft, silent water. So coming back, balancing on those sit bones. And from the side, it makes a really big difference too. You can see it a lot better from the side. Here's dumping back. This is what a lot of us do. When we're sitting down at work, driving, watching TV, we end up eventually and habitually slipping into old patterns. Getting this rounding in the back. And then the other one looks like this. We get this extension in the spine here. So we're working on pulling our shoulders up to a wall, balancing on the sit bones, lifting the heart, and taking out any and all added curvature. So there's curvature, natural curves in the spine that we want to maintain, of course, but we just want to take out the exaggerated ones and keep it nice and tall. Draw the belly to the backbone. That's going to keep this part from going in. When you draw the belly to the backbone, it's naturally going to pull up the pelvis a little bit and neutral it out. And then we want to think of the sternum, the heart space, lifting up. Chin parallel to the earth. The posture is really, really important. And each time you come, just think about, I'm not trying to perfect this. I'm practicing it. I'm always going to be practicing it. And some days you'll be here for a while. Some days your awareness is going to catch you slipping. But what we're trying to do is grow the awareness. We're trying to expand the awareness to catch us and remind us more often throughout the day, to where it gets to a point where we're pretty aware most of the day. Every now and then we'll slip into a little bit of unconscious behavior, but for the most part, we have cultivated a practice of mindfulness and being aware of the body that we're in. And then the hands can come to the knees. You can wrap the fingers around the kneecaps and lift that heart back up. Make sure that the shoulders are away from the ears. You can have your arms like this, palms up. You can have your hands in your lap. Decide what feels right for you. And then we softly close our eyes. And we take a moment to be quiet and still. And just begin to slowly observe our head space. What's going on up there right now? What kind of thoughts are there? And in meditation, the technique that I like to do is practice being a witness or an observer of the thoughts in your mind. Imagine that you're sitting in the far, far back of the mind and you're just watching. Like a movie, this mental movie playing out in front of you. Just watch without getting attached. When we attach ourselves to a thought, or a worry, or fear, that's when we start to spiral into suffering. We are practicing meditation so we can watch the thoughts float by like clouds in the sky. It's okay to look up at a thought, say hello, acknowledge that you see this thought, but then it's very important that you keep moving on in this process and say goodbye and let that flow on. You can think of bliss, you can think of peace, all of these things that we're trying to access. Think of them as the blue sky that's always there, no matter what. We can't see it all the time, but it's there. It's been there since day one, and it'll be there since the day we go. And so the clouds are always fluctuating. Sometimes we are just so cloudy and stormy, it seems like it's never going to be bright again. And some days it's very, very sunny. Some days we're right in the middle. But if you can use this analogy, which isn't one that I created, but it's one that I have fostered, and I really cherish it. It helps me to just sit and watch those clouds float by and not get attached to them. That's one technique that really works for me. And another one is to count to 10. And once you've got one round of 10 down, which will take a while, it'll take maybe days, weeks, or months, who knows? Everyone's different on their journey, so remember that. but counting 1 to 10 and pairing it with your breath, or we're trying to get to the number 10 without being pulled away by those clouds. So inhale 1, exhale 2, inhale 3, exhale 4, all the way to the number 10. So you're matching the count, the numbers, with the length of each breath. And you're just saying it to yourself, unless you want to say it out loud. Just trying to keep the space silent on the outside and just slowly counting to 10. When you get to 10, you begin again. You start over. And you keep adding rounds. And this will really pull you deep into the present moment. It's kind of like a hypnotizing effect. It will really just pull you in. I've reached up to 10 rounds and I'm still working on it, and this is a practice that can help you stay centered and come back to the moment that's already in front of you, rather than lingering in the moments of the past and the moments that you're creating in your future that you are just daydreaming about or worrying about that haven't even happened yet. Meditation pulls us back in to the present moment. It softens this space. It drops us out of this space and into our heart space, to our body. And meditation is the best medication. And I wanted to share this little video with you to just remind you to go slow. We're human beings and we're not perfect. And we're not trying to be perfect here. We're trying to bring a little bit more awareness into our experience and to the environment that surrounds us. So I hope you learned a few things, and I hope that you also start it today. Don't wait. There's no reason to wait. This is only going to add time and more beauty to your experience. So I will see you soon for a pranayama video, and we're going to go over 2 breathwork exercises that can really get that prana flowing in your body, and you can really feel it in every cell. Have a beautifully blessed day. Namaste.